Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Guam legislature drawing scrutiny after former Congressman Michael St. Nicholas lands high-priced contracts signed off by his gubernatorial running mate. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the story coming up.
With $3.8 million in federal support set to disappear, senators are weighing new legislation to give Guam EPA more control over its own survival. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the story coming up.
And a man is recovering tonight, with the Guam Police Department continuing to investigate a shooting incident on Tuesday that left one person with a gunshot wound and the other man badly injured.
Buenas and Havade, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. This is KUAM News Primetime, and these are tonight's top stories. Well, high-priced help, it seems, that the Guam legislature is drawing scrutiny, especially with former congressional delegate Mike St. Nicholas landing a $63,000 contract with which to assist in drafting bills. Now, one senator who signed off on the contracts was previously his gubernatorial running mate, but she is defending her decision. Mitsuki Hirayama has more in tonight's top story.
A questionable use of public funds and a possible conflict of interest at the Guam legislature. Former Guam Congressman Michael St. Nicholas was independently contracted by Senators Chris Dueñas and Telo Taitagui to deliver draft legislation. Their agreement with Dueñas is for over $63,000 and Telo's is $8,000, but has since expired. The contract with Dueñas is higher than a senator's yearly salary. The agreement is for 8 months, from February 1st of 2025 through September 30th of this year, subject to the availability of funds. The contracts are published on the 38th Guam Legislature's website, along with other high-priced contracts. The concern here is they were signed off by Senator Sabrina Salas Metanani, his gubernatorial running mate. When asked to address the possible conflict of interest,
it's part of my responsibility and duties as the legislative secretary to sign off on all contracts and other documents here at the legislature.
Salas Metanani also defends the combined $71,000 contracts.
This is a bargain. We're talking about a former congressman who brought in millions of dollars, billions if not, to the government of Guam. But I think the work that he's been doing, not just for, my office or the offices that you're talking about, he's done a lot of work for Guam and his experience. We're using his experience to help the people.
It will be remiss not to mention that the contracts were only brought to KUAM's attention following his DUI arrest.
I think what has transpired with his DWI arrest, that's, I wish him the best, in what's happening personally, but professionally, that we can't discard what he's done for our people.
We also reached out to Senator Dueñas' office for comment. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Moving down in our rundown, a major funding shift is on the horizon for the Guam EPA as federal funding sources are set to dissolve that agency's budget almost entirely. Now, your elected lawmakers are weighing a legislative fix that will aid in safeguarding core programs to protect the health of the environment as well as our people. Nevaeh Anderson explains in this story.
With no one agency immune to the ripple effects of the Trump administration's Big Beautiful Bill, senators confront a staggering reality. The Guam Environmental Protection Agency is about to lose $3.8 million, nearly its entire budget.
So currently we receive about $3.9 million in our categorical grants. That goes into a consolidated grant to fund about 85% of our agency.
Enter Bill 132. Authored by Senator Sabina Perez, the bill proposes some major changes to GEPA's trust fund. First, it would authorize spending for staff salaries, air and water quality monitoring, recycling, enforcement, and emergency response, all of which are excluded from the current trust fund. Second, the measure would go a step further, creating a dedicated reserve fund. And the agency's emergency spending is currently capped at $5,000, unless the governor declares an emergency or the legislature appropriates additional funding for response.
Bill 132-38 is timely and needed for continued operations of Guam EPA and to minimize disruptions from federal cuts.
GEPA Administrator Michelle Lastimosa confirms the cap has made it nearly impossible to use the trust fund for real emergencies.
There's probably no emergency response that we've encountered that would probably cost less than $5,000, so we haven't really had to tap into that fund because of that limitation.
As lawmakers pressed Lastimosa on transparency, she assured them that the agency already provides monthly expenditure reports to its board. If passed, Bill 132 would also require annual reporting to both the legislature and the governor. With only about $400,000 left in their trust fund after the cuts, Lastimosa pointed to a separate $26 million balance from a federal emerging contaminants grant, but says it's restricted and not enough to sustain GEPA long term.
We have talked to our federal grantors about maybe redirecting those monies if it becomes necessary, but we haven't crossed that bridge yet.
She also clarifies that the $33 million ORDOT dump reserve fund is separate from their trust fund and that they have no control over it. So while Bill 132 aims to get ahead of the curve and give GEPA more fiscal flexibility, lawmakers noted it as a temporary solution as the agency continues its search for a reliable funding source. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
From the crime beat, GPD is investigating a shooting that happened just before 4 Tuesday afternoon here in Dedido. Police say a woman reported hearing gunshots outside her home near San Antonio Street on Manga Court. And when Dedido precinct officers arrived, they found a man lying on the road with multiple injuries, but not by way of a gunshot. Another man did suffer a gunshot wound, was driven to GRMC by a female individual. KUAM News has since learned that the shooting victim is alert and responsive. The Guam Police does continue to investigate, with more details expected to be released. Now, heads up and a warning for all drone users. You want to know the law before you take off and fly, as a local YouTuber is now facing serious consequences after pleading guilty to violating national defense airspace. 55-year-old Billy Cow Cruz, creator of the Planet Guam YouTube channel, admitted to flying a drone over Marine Corps Base Camp Blas and uploading the video online. The aerial footage racked up over 12,000 views before being taken down, and that was after federal authorities stepped in. Cruz's guilty plea comes with up to a year in prison, a $100,000 fine, and a year of supervised release. As part of the agreement, he also surrendered the drone used, which was a DJI Magic Mini 4 Pro, as well as other videography equipment. Federal court documents show that Cruz had previously been warned by the FBI about flying drones over military installations, including an incident near Anderson Air Force Base in 2021. Despite that, prosecutors say Cruz recorded and uploaded new footage of Camp Blas this past February in restricted airspace. FAA rules do clearly prohibit unauthorized drone flights over sensitive military sites, and federal investigators say Cruz acknowledged the risks, understanding that adversaries could exploit such footage. Sentencing is set for September 11th, and for the time being, another recent drone incident over an Army missile site in Dedido remains under review. It is a cautionary tale for drone operators. You want to always check flight restrictions as well as airspace regulations. We're going to take a break. Please stay tuned. The live stream continues right after this. You're watching KUAM.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years. and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Anything's possible.
College is possible. Retirement is possible. Adventure is possible. And so is saving for it all with our Bank Ohana Savings Special. Earn an interest rate of 3.55% for the first 90 days when you deposit $25,000 from another bank into a Bank Ohana Bonus Rate Savings Plus account. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So make your savings goals possible.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Hafide, everybody. You're watching KUAM News Primetime. Multidisciplinary artist Roquin John Kichitu Shanko is a weaver of stories, of style, and of identity. Hailing from the village of Jigo to the runways of Salt Lake City, Roquin John is on a mission to share our island's vibrant spirit through fashion. And this weekend, they're inviting the community into their childhood home, not just to witness their work, but to help take Chamorro culture to a world stage. Jonah Goncharpers has more from up north.
For Roquin John Kichitu Shanko, art isn't just stitched into fabric, it's woven into identity. They share how weaving was introduced to them by their 3rd grade teacher at UP Elementary School, Senora Flores.
She taught me how to weave a little grasshopper, and from that moment I remember looking around the classroom and seeing all the hats and baskets and all the intricately woven things, and I was like, what? You mean to tell me these are just leaves that you fold? Blew my little mind. So ever since then, it was kind of a pursuit of joy and happiness.
When they were about 13 years old, they moved to Washington State, and with no coconut trees, Roquin John had to be creative and improvise.
I remember weaving with paper or weaving on the loom with some yarn, and I also got connected with other native weavers out there, and they taught me some of the intricacies of their weaving, and I was learning how a universal language it is.
And their creativity blossomed into some incredible designs and craftsmanship. Where do they draw inspiration?
What's the feeling that I want to have, either when I wear it or when I have people see it? And then I kind of work backward from there. So if it's something that wants to be fun and whimsical and campy, then that's a particular kind of energy. But when it wants to be like maybe inviting and sensual and just feel good in your own skin, then that's another kind of energy and design that I try to invoke. But of course I'm inspired by Instagram, YouTube, magazines, whatever that I think anyone else sees inspiration in and art in. Love to go to museums, but definitely a lot of nature and beauty right here at home that there's so much to draw from inspiration-wise that I don't know if I could ever capture it all per se, but I have a lot of fun chasing it.
Roquin John is preparing to showcase their handmade fashion pieces at the prestigious Creative Pacific Fashion Weekend in Salt Lake City later this month. But before they take the stage, they're turning their childhood home into a space of celebration, culture, and community support. On Saturday, July 12th, from 4 to 10 p.m., friends and fashion lovers alike can stop by Chelin Hosen Tanana in Jigo to experience the textures of his work in person, create accessories of their own, and maybe even take home a one-of-a-kind piece. Funds raised will go toward Roquin John's travel and presentation in Utah, where they hope to uplift the beauty of Chamorro craftsmanship. resilience, and expression on an international platform. Admission is by donation, no one is turned away for lack of funds, and with a selfie booth, local chesa, groovy cha-cha beats, and raffle prizes, it's more than just fashion, it's a fiesta for a purpose.
I just want to say Mdonkulu, Caesar Smaasi, because honestly, I think like any other artist, we're kind of figuring out our career as we go, and there's no playbook on how to be a successful weaver in our community per se, but it's really just been following my heart, but also definitely having the support of my family, my loved ones, and community. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for any of them.
From loom to runway, Broken John is weaving together tradition and ambition and reminding us that Guam's stories deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated everywhere.
So this coming Saturday, come check me out at my childhood home along here in Chalanhosan Ana up in Quetzaltenango from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. with this fashion fundraiser that's here at my childhood home. Help me get to Salt Lake City, Utah. Appreciate you guys.
Jonagan Charfris, KUAM News.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Today's Your World at Home is some much needed sunshine on this very, very rainy day. It's a nice shot of a beach.
Congratulations to both of you as you embark on your new journey with us. And welcome to the Bank of Guam Familia. Go get him.
Good morning, Kara.
What is Kara?
Good night, Kara.
You're doing great.
Half a day. I'm Kara, your virtual banker.
GU Self-Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Klein's hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self-Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Can somebody please help me judge this chicken?
Juicy, seasoned.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hair.
Now, who you think made this?
I don't know who cooked it, but they know how to cook.
Boom! Oh, McDonald's! Yes!
Are you serious? You don't like Mickey D's? Okay.
Guess what? I got something special for y'all. Double dip!
Cause that nods mean people who love McCrispy strips.
How you feeling now? Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
McCrispy strips, man, from Mickey D's. They here for it. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Shout, Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Being stationed on Guam, there is much to do on the beautiful island. But before you pack, sanitize any household items and leave any organic materials behind to prevent the introduction of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
New training location confirmed. The Mariana Islands. Before and after training, you will identify and sanitize your tactical gear to prevent the spread of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place. This crispy chicken is from a taco place? Hey, this crispy chicken's from Taco Bell? The taco place? This chicken is so perfectly crispy with tortilla chip coating. It's from a taco place. What? It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Bye. I wish they could move back home.
Should we build on our honeymoon?
Yes. Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what-ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Super speed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month. Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month. Or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan. And a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
Okay, lots to see, lots to do, lots to try, lots to have fun, lots of ways to get active this summer. And Uno and Brews is a really, really cool concept that we came up with, right? It debuted last week. There were a pretty good number of people that came out for the crowd over at Carabao Brewing last Thursday. And we want to see this crowd get even bigger because it is so much fun. So make sure to go to our Instagram feed. We did the whole link in bio thing. So you click on that, you register. If you registered last week, see you down there because it is a lot of fun. Glow and Connect is my friends over at GTA telling the recent graduates from the class of 2025 about what comes next and how to prepare for that in terms of organization, in terms of gear, in terms of mindset, in terms of everything, right? You guys are taking over and GTA is getting you ready for that. So make sure to check out the Glow and Connect Teen Workshop Series. Really, really good work there. And then, all right, strategic planning, something that is absolutely critical if you're in the private sector, government, nonprofit. It doesn't matter, right? Some of us spend a whole lot of money and time, myself included, to learn this. But you know what? My friends over at the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce are doing this for free. This is their July monthly meeting. It's a 101 level about how to do strategic planning. Make sure to check it out. It's at Crown Plaza Resort on the 10th at 8 in the morning. Register at guamwomenschamber.com/events. All right, time for birthdays. Happy birthday to Michael J. Pakaigui, an amazing kid, Arfanihi. Very, very cool. Mike, may your heart be always as light as your laughter, and may your day be filled with fun of all of your favorite things. Our Tomoru Fanihi Ungwaizahao, your very proud family, says, all right, man, fruit bat, awesome. Elijah Guerrero, though miles separate us, your shout out says, our love for you is always with you. May God bless you always and guide you on your path. We are sending you virtual hugs and love. Happy birthday, Elijah Guerrero. We love and miss you, Elijah baby. Love from your Guam familia. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. That's our report for tonight, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please stay dry. Stay safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow night.
2025 marks the 50th anniversary of Guam's first ever gold medal in the South Pacific Games, won in men's basketball with the games hosted locally. After a half decade, the team remains close and is the driving force for excellence for other sports to this day. Let's now pay tribute to our Golden Boys on their golden anniversary and look back at that magical summer of '75.
The 1975 Team Guam men's basketball team, the very first team to win gold in the South Pacific Games, set the template, made history, and really set the pace for young athletes like myself growing up on Guam. We have here 4 members of that historic team, and their character and their sense of humor and just their amazing athletic achievements continue today. We have Kin Farron, Benny Lazama, Joe Taitano, and Greg Tekenko. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. For me, this is a real honor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay, Joe, let's start with you. What is the camaraderie between all the members of the team? I mean, we've got 4 of you in the gym right now, the very same gym where you won the gold medal match, but how have you guys stayed close?
I mean, believe it or not, even after 50 years, I mean, just being around these guys and just try to talk about it, it's emotional with me, after all these years. But that's how close we were back then. I mean, we ate the same food. We stayed in that little room up there, okay, and we just enjoyed one another's company, and the only thing in mind was just to work hard and play good basketball for Guam. That's basically it. I think that was the thing that kept us together. So it was definitely a brotherhood, if you will, because Webb Smith, I think, is partly to be credited for that, because he was the one that got us together.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, now Benny, if I may, then I've talked to several members of the team and several people related to the team, and they all say you were one of the emotional leaders. And emotion is kind of the key word, because right now we're in this wonderful gym. It's got the GW colors. There's wonderful air conditioning. There's lighting and everything. That was not the case back in 1975. No. This was a completely different facility. Describe the conditions that you guys played under.
Well, yeah, there was no AC here. There was no AC at all. We live in a room up there with cots. That room didn't have an AC either. But we were all together, real tight-knit family. Like Joe said, we were not just players in a team. We became more band of brothers, really. And it was really crowded in this place in '75. The final game, people were hanging out outside the windows. They were lining up. We didn't even have room to play. They were right up on the line on the baseline on the sideline and all the way back. But it was an amazing time for us. Yeah, we wrapped that gold medal around our neck, but our mission was for Guam.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of those gold medals is around the neck of Greg Tekenko right now. So, Greg, what was it like to actually put Coach Webb on your shoulders and carry him and have that victory celebration when every member of our team, you said, we did what we set out to do and we did it in front of our family, in front of our friends, and right here on Guam soil?
Yes, our coach is very good. He trained us.
Good. Take the mic, please.
The coach is very good, Coach Webb Smith. He trained us, and we run all what he wants. The less dribbling, the better. And man, outside shooter, and I play with these guys. We got a good teamwork. Mm-hmm. We run.
And I just saw you guys when you walked in the gym here. You guys are still making jokes,
yes.
Embracing each other and everything. So what has been the relationship with you and the other members of this team as you run into them over the years, or just like kept in touch?
Yes, we're like Tony Susuico, those guys, Jam Kawu, and Jesse Benaventi. But we miss Ray Flores, passed away, and Joe Connolly, and Jeff Denied, and Manny Villavicencio, and Luke Cohen, and all we have here is like 7 of us here in Guam. So I think Jam is somewhere, probably off island, I believe. But Jesse, I met him once, but I didn't.
All right. Now, if I can ask Kin now. Yeah. From what I read, I was 1 year old in 1975.
I was a little kid running around in Pampers.
Feel old now.
Well, not at all. But what was unique also about that summer was apparently, that's in the middle of the rainy season for Guam anyway. Apparently that June was uncommonly rainy. So what were the conditions that you had to work out in, practice, come to the games?
Yeah, like I said, I know air conditioning, and from the time we came out of that room, we were running all the time. Webb kept us busy, right? And I give Webb credit for keeping the team together. The idea of having us all housed in that little room up there brought us together a lot quicker than it would have if, because we practiced for a month and a half before the game. It wasn't, yeah, but having to live together and eat together, it's almost like being in college, right? You're sharing the dorms and all this stuff, and when we wake up, the first thing we think is basketball. The last thing we think about is basketball. So I give credit to Webb for a lot of that. And then, like I said, we're a band of brothers, right? We have our own WhatsApp where we keep in touch with each other, and we tell stories and stuff like that, or we follow Terry Stotts, whatever. But mainly, the guys have just come together really well, and we gelled really well because, like Ben said, we're a band of brothers. We had one mission, and that was gold medal. There's nothing else we were playing for.
Well, mission accomplished.
Yes, and so when we got that done, right, and with a leader like Joe and Tony, we were just following those two guys.
Mm. Well, let me ask Joe now, because you became a legend not just because of your play on the court, but also as you were coaching for decades. When I was in high school, you were still coaching. What is the legacy of the '75 team with the younger players and the national team that has been so successful now, winning golds and silvers in the Pacific Games? But you guys really set the tone for them. And what's your legacy?
I think one of the biggest thing, and when you ask about the weather, right? Honestly, that wasn't even in our minds at all. It was just all about working hard and playing hard-nosed basketball. If kids nowadays went through what we did in '75, they wouldn't survive, to be quite honest. What Whip Smith did to us, it was just, I look back every now and then, and man, had us wearing weights on our ankles, pressing against the second team. And every time they break the press, he had us running steps or touchdowns.
So it sounds more like boot camp than training camp.
Well, yeah, basically that's what it was. And that's why we didn't fear anything. You talk about weather. I don't even remember the weather at all. That didn't even came to mind at all, because we were just so focused in terms of what needed to be done on the floor. So work ethic is such a big thing. If there's anything that I learned a lot from that team and from Webb Smith, it's just working hard. And you know what they say, that hard work pays off, and sure enough with Webb Smith, he was a living proof of that. That hard work does pay off.
Benny, how does it feel a half century later? You guys, relatively speaking, were kids back then. You guys were young men. Some of you were married at that time. Ken, you were a newlywed at that time.
Ken was
how does it feel now with, like 50 years of history having passed and to see these guys now and to reflect on what you've done?
I feel pretty old. Anyway, I don't know. For me, we're not just players. We became really practically brothers. And going back to practice, what Joe was saying, in '71, and there was 5 of us originally.
Yeah.
It was Joe, Greg, Tony, myself, and Ray Flores, bless his soul. And I remember preparing for '75, Webb said he was going to scout the top players in high school. It's one of them.
'75 is a defining moment for me. It was the stage that set my career, because someone took interest in the way I played basketball, and the following year I went and played for Adams State. So and that's where everything started for me with regards to career and I guess stepping up the level of basketball, playing basketball. So it definitely is a special moment for me, and I'm just thankful, for the people that were here. If you had seen GW back then in terms of where people, I mean, they were hanging hands. I mean, they were up there in the, you know, the louvers. I mean, it was just standing. I mean, it was even hard to take the ball and bound from the sideline because there were people standing in between the black and the red line. So it was definitely a moment that I'll never forget. And yeah, always going back to that moment.
Well, gentlemen, certainly it's the achievement of a lifetime for you and all your teammates and the coaching staff and everything. And this has been an honor of a lifetime for me, again, as a young guy that's been able to really appreciate what you guys did for myself and my peers and everything. So congratulations to you on this 50th anniversary of your gold medal.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having us here. Appreciate it.
Summer's here, Guam. Get ready for sun-soaked days with Kmart. From beach gear to backyard barbecue essentials, Kmart has it all at prices that keep your wallet cool. Stock up on snacks and fun kids activities to keep them entertained. Kmart is Guam's one-stop shop for summer fun. Plus, military and frontline workers save more with our exclusive discounts every day. Shop now for your summer essentials at Kmart, the 24-hour superstore. Summer vibes, Kmart style.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam. We're now here in Upper Tumon at John F. Kennedy High School, the newly rebuilt JFK, but this place and this campus did not look like this in 1975, and certainly the gym did not look like this, but this is the very ground where our 75 men's basketball team held their tryouts and worked on their game, developed their chemistry, spent a lot of time here. The talents that would propel them to the gold medal game, and the youngest member of that team was a 19-year-old, affectionately called Champ. Okay, Champ, so first thing I gotta say is congratulations, 50 years.
And we're still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you reflect on the fact that your team, you know, as young as you were, as ambitious as you all were, as much passion as you had for, you know, for representing Guam on your home soil at that time, that was a half century ago. I mean, you were back from your freshman year in college. Your eldest daughter wasn't even a full year yet, and yeah, that was a half century ago.
It was a long time ago, for sure. You know, as time passes on, you know, you think about your life and all that you've done, and it really is a highlight. I was really young at the time, and the relationships you form and those experiences, you know, are important when you look back and try to reflect on, you know, how the last 50 years have gone, how the last 60 years have gone. And clearly that summer was a highlight, and more importantly, it helped establish relationships that continue to this day. I mean, some of the treasured relationships and the memories, you know, are tied to that team and that summer.
Which is also interesting because in your own family, you're the oldest boy, and yet on that team, you were the baby.
Yeah,
you were the youngest on the roster.
I have to say, I was really lucky to get on the team. I had been away at college, and I had gone back, and it wasn't a goal or anything, but I loved basketball. And when I got back to Guam, I heard that they were still holding tryouts. The tryouts were still open. And so I was encouraged to go out to try out for the team, and I did. I think the day after I got back from California, you know, I went up, and I think the practices were at JFK. The tryouts were at JFK. And so I was anxious and a little bit apprehensive. I didn't think I was going to make the team. I was the youngest, and they were really great players. But I was fortunate that Coach Webb had selected me, and it was a great experience, and really glad that it occurred.
How well did all of you on the roster, how well did you guys all know each other, either from like village leagues or just like you knew them from high school? Or
Oh, yeah, I've been playing basketball since I was in middle school, early middle school, maybe even elementary school. And Guam was small back then, and the basketball community wasn't as large either. And so I grew up playing with a lot of the younger guys. And at some point, I think I played against some of them in the All-District League. And then later, we played varsity league together. Joe Tithano I knew because Joe would run down from Jigo and have pickup games at Tamuning Court or wherever he could catch a game. And
he probably literally did run down.
He literally did run down, and Joe was always an amazing athlete. Always sort of wondered how he found the energy and the dedication to do what he did. But all these guys, some of them were friends, some of them were contemporaries, but a lot of them were sort of heroes to me, and it was great to get to know them. And we knew them in a really close environment because we all had to live together during the SPG games, and we all bunked up at GW, and there's a loft that overlooks the court, and so that's where we'd all have our futons or our cots, and we'd practice all day and hang out in the gym, and then we'd sleep at night in the loft. It was a great experience.
Now, once the team was formed, was it the players who elected Tony as captain, or did he just kind of like slide into that role because he also had experience in previous SPGs?
Yeah. Well, let me just say this: this was clearly Tony's team. Tony was our Michael Jordan. He was our Magic Johnson or our Larry Bird. This team was clearly Tony's team. He was the leader because he was the best player. Everyone looked to Tony, and he was a leader by example. He didn't do a lot of talking, but he led by his dedication and just his talent. And you had experienced players. We looked at Benny Lozama, who was a great player from Sinahanya, and he was a leader in his own right with respect to the team. He was a great court general. Then you had Joe. Joe would drive everybody because Joe worked harder than anybody and demanded that you also work hard. So he kept the fitness standard and the intensity standard pretty high. But it was clearly Tony's team. He was the leader of the team, and I think everyone will say that we look to him as the team captain. Right.
So take me back to the gold medal game and everything. Like American Samoa was actually heavily favored in the tournament, but you're playing on your own home soil, and you said we're in front of our friends and family, girlfriends, wives, and everything like that. Like what was the attitude of the team, and what was the mindset?
Well, the team, some of the players had gone to South Pacific Games before. I'd never participated in an international competition or in the South Pacific Games. And I think there was a feeling among the veterans on the team that this team could beat American Samoa. And American Samoa was loaded. Back then they had players who were Samoan but were living in Hawaii or in the mainland, and they had gathered together, and it was really a sort of a stacked team. And when we saw them at the first game, we played them twice. And the first game, I don't think it was that close. We beat them pretty easily, and it built up our confidence. And then the second game we played, I think we eventually beat them by a pretty by a pretty good margin. And they were bigger than we are, and they had some really great players. In fact, when I ended up after law school working in Hawaii, I'd run into some of them at the gym, at KUAM gym on the weekends. We'd have pickup ball, and they really remembered that Guam had beaten them, and they'd give me a hard time or they'd tease me about it. But it was really a great experience, and something I'd never experienced before. But we had the finals at the GW gym, and all I remember is that people were on the roof outside the gym looking in from the louvers. It was clearly a fire hazard and very dangerous, but there was such a demand to watch this game, and I think that not only were we sort of proud to represent the island and to be successful, but I think the island was really proud that we had finally beat, really a Goliath, right? They were a lot bigger than we were. They were not only players from Samoa, but Samoans from Hawaii, and it was really a satisfying win that I really will never forget. and always sort of treasure.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Guam's beauty is only surpassed by its hospitality. Please help protect it by not bringing any items that can have a harmful impact on the island. Remember, if it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
New training location confirmed. The Mariana Islands. Before and after training, you will identify and sanitize your tactical gear to prevent the spread of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
Anything's possible. I push to the limits. I climb every wall. I keep on believing. Anything's possible.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's never to underestimate the spirit and strength of the people of our island home. Which is why at Bank of Hawaii, you, your dreams, and your possibilities will always have a home. Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Any team needs a leader. And by all accounts from those that shared the court with him, Tony Susuiko was far and away Team Guam's best player and the heart and soul of our history-making run. Seve Susuiko, an accomplished player in his own right, grew up knowing Tony's greatness, but also the character that led to our golden run in 1975. Let's hear now from a grateful son honoring not only a legendary sports figure, but a humble dad.
Seb, you actually have more medals than your dad, right?
Yeah, well, more silver medals. We had the same amount of gold medals. So he has 2 gold medals, I have 2 gold medals, and I have 3 silver medals. So.
And there's an important distinction to make, because your dad actually played in the SPG before the 75 games, and then after. And so, like, everybody always says, like, you know, it was his team, you know, he led, we followed.
Yeah, no, so my dad, he always recalls that 75 team, the first gold here on Guam. I mean, nothing means more than winning, you know, at home, in home court. So he always reflects that every time we sit down and talk. He, you know, gives me goosebumps, and that's what kind of motivated me in my basketball career to, you know, kind of meet that pedestal and kind of make it go further, which Guam basketball has gone. I mean, thanks to those guys, that 75 team that, you know, those are like the roots of Guam basketball, and we kind of, now we're flourishing and where the program is.
And Dad actually turned 75 this year, right?
Yeah, so it was his birthday yesterday. He turned 75, still strong. That was the 75 team that won. It's a 50-year anniversary, you know, so it's funny how things are, like, you know, they come in full circle.
How often does he bring it up, and how often does he, like, share those memories with you, and what specific stories does he tell?
Yeah, you know, my dad's a humble guy from down south, so he doesn't bring it up a lot. The only time he goes off on it is if you ask him a question, then he'll go on and on and on, but rightfully so, because those times are, you know, those are the good times for Guam. In the 70s, the sports in the 70s for Guam was, you know, it was a beautiful time.
Mm-hmm. What about your own game has been shaped by, you know, I mean, genetics is one thing, and, you know, and talent took you to go play and, you know, dragged you along and everything like that. But what about, you know, his game just translated down to yours, and you just get it from him?
Yeah, I think, you know, just being surrounded by a great player, and then hearing stories from other people tell you about how great your dad was puts a little bit of pressure on you, enough to make you want to play and be great, you know, just like your dad. And I'll put the same pressure on my son Theo. So
now, if you're given a nickname by your peers, that's the best.
Yeah.
How did your dad get the nickname Helicopter?
They gave him the nickname the Helicopter because he would jump up and he would just hang. People would be landing and he'll still be in the air, you know. So he had the vertical leap and he also had hang time. So he could jump high and jump far. So people just remember him, you know, just for his jumping ability, his shooting ability. He's an awesome athlete. And, you know, at that time, dunking basketballs on Guam, there wasn't very many people doing it. And to have, you know, a guy from down south doing it, and, you know, it doesn't get any better.
Now, what does this court mean to him? Because, you know, like, especially like Southern basketball got such a rich tradition on Guam, but, you know, playing here and back then, you know, we didn't have the advanced facilities we have right now. You know, most courts didn't even have aircon or even a cover and everything. So what about this, you know, to you as his son is hallowed ground?
You know, I think this place down here in Agate, this is where all the hard work happens. This is the roots. If you're willing to come out here in the rain and play and train, you know, you love the game, and the more you love the game, the better you're going to be at it.
Mm-hmm. And your dad always tells like a famous story about the fact that you were almost like pressured into becoming a very, very accurate shooter, because if your ball went a little bit beyond here and everything like that, there's a river like right behind you.
Just behind me. So he used to say, if you're shooting on this side and you miss and the ball bounces into the river there, that ball's going far. So there's pressure on making those baskets.
How much does the gold medal and how much his place in history and, you know, like the fact that his teammates are still so close and everything, to this day, Sev, how much does that mean to him?
You know, those are his brothers. Just like I have my brothers for my team. Those guys they're his brothers, you know.
For us as athletes, you know, you always say we have a love of competition and we play to win, but they went out and they were the first ones and they proved that we could do it too.
Yeah, they did it. You know, they were local boys. All guys from Guam, local boys that just were playing guys that were playing college and playing pro overseas, and then they meet up with these guys, and you know, they held their ground and they beat them, you know, and they got that gold, and it's gonna live on forever.
Mm-hmm. What do other people, not just from the South but all over Guam, tell you about, you know, what their dad meant to them? Or it's like, hey, I didn't play, but I cheered on your dad, and, you know, like I saw your dad around, and, you know, he was a hero to us.
I mean, he was like the pride of Agate at that time. So, yeah.
Do people just come up to you and like share stories, or, you know, like relatives or like people from the village?
Yeah. Hold on.
Sorry, take your time, brother. Like when they approach you and they come up to you and they say, you know, I know your dad, what did they say?
Yeah. They just say how great he was, you know, and how they remember him. They just say, you know, he inspired a lot of people, just to be better people, not just better players.
He made them proud to be from Guam, right?
Yeah.
He represented us the way that all athletes would hope that you can represent our island that we love so much.
Exactly. Yeah. Damn.
Where's his gold medal at, Seth? And growing up and everything like that, was it displayed, and did you see it, or did he allow you to touch it to pick it up?
You know, he was a humble guy. He never displayed anything. He was in a box in a drawer, you know. So he wasn't about all the awards and all that. He just loved the game and he wanted to win.
How often do his teammates reach out to you and just say like, this is what Dad means to us?
All the time. You know, I get texts from Champ. A lot of the younger guys at the time. My dad was kind of like a veteran guy. You know, he inspired them. He inspired me. Inspired a lot of people.
And how about your own? You know, you're a father now. How do you as a son want to carry on his athletic tradition, and then, you know, pass that down to Theo and pass that down to your boy and say, you know, this is the way Grandpa did it, so, you know, this is the way we're going to do it because he did it right?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I have passion for the game. It wasn't forced at all. You know, I don't want to force it on him either. I'm going to surround him with the game. And if he wants to play, he's going to play. I wanted to play, my dad wanted to play, so hopefully he wants to play too.
In one sentence, what does the 75 team mean to Dad?
Inspiration for Guam athletes, not just basketball, for every sport. Like local kids can do it. They, other places have support, financial support and all that. These guys barely had shoes on their feet, but they went out and played and they won. So.
You never made excuses, man. No one's ever gonna outwork us.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. That was their whole motto. If we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose in shape. And those guys were in shape, so they had no excuse. And they were just, those are the guys we look up to and we'll look up to forever.
We're very proud, myself and Frank Cruz, to announce the first ever Guam National Basketball Hall of Fame. 2 players that will be inducted this year are Joe Taitano and Tony Suzuiko, who are legends of the game here on Guam and 2 players that I grew up hearing so much about. And we know that they helped lead those teams, and I'm sure they're big contributions all around, but they were leaders on those teams. That is our inaugural class of 6 inductees, and we're very proud of them, and we're proud to share their story. And we feel like the hard work that they provided will inspire future generations, because we know it inspired us. And we are inducting you into the first ever Guam National Basketball Hall of Fame, class of 2025. As one of our inspirational basketball players of all time in Guam.
Wow. Yeah, easy.
So take a look at this. Thank you for all you've done to inspire all the basketball players on Guam and everyone who represents Guam.
All I did was just play and just follow the playing rules,
I'll never forget, you came to the airport with your gold medal, and you came right up to me and said, EJ, go get one of these. He said, go get a gold medal. And that's the standard you set, is regardless whether we win or not, in our mind, we deserve the gold medal. We want to go for the best.
Like us in 75, there were guys that just couldn't believe it.
So we're going to end telling the story of the 1975 Guam men's basketball team fittingly here where everything started, at GW's gym, where a dream was realized, a vision was completed, and a legacy was formed. We hope you enjoyed this look back, and we hope you appreciate everything that the 75 team did for our sports community.
This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.